listening to Thoughtless Casual Gaming with Brett and Jace. We are a Geelong-based gaming podcast where we talk way too much about Blood Bowl.
Or not enough.
One of those. It's not in the middle. It's definitely one of those.
Yeah.
So what I thought we'd do tonight is just sort of jump straight in because I've got a lot to talk about, and what we're looking at is the differences between this new season of Blood Bowl and the previous edition.
There's a whole new season. It's amazing. There's things.
It's a whole new season, and there's a lot in it too.
There is huge amounts. I think, caveat-wise, there are definitely a lot of more quality content that you could peruse to get a real in-depth analysis of exactly what the changes are. But I would also say that very few of them have done that with the pig-headed focus that we have on Blood Bowl 7s.
Yes, very, very true. So, yes, again, caveat to this, I spent a good 2 nights perusing both books and trying to work out every single difference that there was, which means that I have missed God knows how many, I'm sure.
Oh, there's heaps, but
So if you know one that I've missed, please let us know in the Discord. But let's jump straight in. So first one I have, rerolls. So you cannot use a different source to reroll other dice now.
No.
This is different because you used to be able to, say, use Brawler and then use a team reroll for the other dice in the pool.
Yes. None of that nonsense. So it's reroll the pool or reroll a dice as part of the pool, and then you're done.
Yes.
You get one go.
One go, that's it. Distracted is a new term.
No, but I really, really like it.
Yes. So basically anything that is distracted cannot use active skills or traits.
Oh, glorious. Because there were so many different variations of your wild animal, your whatever it was, all of the different boneheads and stuff like that. They all effectively did the same thing, but this gives you a blanket trait that does everything, the same thing for all of those different pieces. So you fail your wild animal, you get the distracted trait, or you fail your bonehead, you get your distracted trait. And there's probably other things that I haven't looked at, but a single blanket thing to say this is the status that you get and this is what it means is so much clearer.
Oh, yes. And they've gone to the effort of listing every single skill with either active or passive too, so that you should be able to look it up fairly easy. The only thing I'm not sure about is when you become prone or stunned, is that the same? Because hasn't actually been clarified as far as I can tell.
As in, do you lose your active skills because you were placed prone?
Yes, yeah. So, for example, Mighty Blow on a both down.
Which was clearly not in previous.
Yeah. So Mighty Blow is designated as an active skill. So the assumption would be that active skills are not able to be used if you're on the ground, as was the case last season, but we'll wait and see. Jace is looking things up now.
Oh, I'm looking. Again, this is the most organised I've literally ever been. I have the rule book with me. I have stuff. It's exciting. I just want to use it all.
No, fair enough. A new rule which is more relevant for 11s than it is for 7s. But if you line up too many players on your side of the pitch and nobody notices it until you're a turn or two in, you can no longer choose. Your opponent would choose the person or people that were put in the reserves. Last season, there was no restrictions on this. So your number one pick was the star player. It's now been clarified you can no longer choose star players or the player with the ball. So that's out. Kickoff, there's a couple of little changes. Cheering fans has changed because they got rid of prayers to Nuffle in this regard. There's no prayers to Nuffle on the kickoff. Instead, it just now gives you +1 assist on your first block for the draw. for the drive. That's the word.
I actually really dig this. Like it avoids another table. It still kept the pressed knuffle as an inducement option, but just another source of potentially getting additional rules and more rolling, like during the course of the game, smooth it out. It's still a really clear benefit. I dig it.
Oh, yeah. Charge has replaced Blitz.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same thing, but it also means you can also throw a teammate and kick a teammate and blitz.
Yes, which is excellent.
Yes. So if you're playing ogres, go for it. And then the last one on the kickoff table, the dodgy snack rule. So this is a new one. You roll a d6. So the random player, whoever loses that d6 roll, they roll a random player and then roll another d6. On a 1, they go to reserves. On a 2+, they lose 1 movement and 1 armor value for the drive.
Which, again, it feels like it just balanced out the previous version a little bit, which was, you're either out for the game or whatever it was. So, yeah, that was nice. The other one actually on the kickoff table, which I thought was nice, and as far as I can tell, there is now no -1 to catch a high kick. In any of those scenarios. So
they have changed that in the catch. There is no negative for deviations. There is still -1 if the ball bounces, and -1 for throw-ins from the crowd.
Throw-in specifically, though, yeah.
Yeah. So the deviation -1 no longer applies, which is nice. Blitz and pass. They made a rule which is on page 52, which has the most horrible wording of anything that I found in the book. It is very, very confusing. So I'll read it. So I'm not going to read all of it. But it's an action is performed when it actually happens, such as when you roll dice for a block action, move 1 or more squares as part of a move action, and so on. And then the example they give, for example, during a blitz action, a rule that comes into play when a player declares a block action would not come into effect as no block action has been declared. The declared action was a blitz action. A rule that comes into play when a player performs a block action would come into effect, triggering when the block action is performed as part of the blitz action. Is that confusing or what?
Frustratingly, I really enjoy the intent of the clarification. The idea that you declare an action at the very start, you activate a player, you declare the action. Some things may happen at that point in time, depending on what you've declared, and then later, you go out and you do the thing, and at some point you will actually perform the declared action, or you will perform an action as part of that, and different things could happen. I think that segregation of when stuff is triggered and what gets triggered by what is really, really good. But again, there's just lots of words.
Oh my God, so many words for something that's not that complicated. No. But basically it means that if you're blitzing a Nurgle bloater.
Yeah, dickheads with disturbing presence and
with foul appearance. If you, in the previous edition, if you declared a blitz on a bloater, you'd roll for foul appearance at the start, get a 1, that's your blitz done, nothing else happens. He doesn't move, he doesn't do anything. Now you're rolling for foul appearance when you're actually hitting them. So you can move up to them, and if you roll that 1, you're still standing next to them.
Which is fine. You've still got half the stuff you wanted to do done. It's a neat clarifier. It's probably a reasonably important clarifier in the game. And the fact that they've now been able to then use that in all of the other stuff to say when this thing is declared or when this thing is performed is a very neat little piece. But that little example is a schmozzle of the English language.
I read this a couple of times and I turned to Liam and I'm like, what does this mean? I had to get him to explain it for me.
The other interesting one in there, actually, just while we're on the same page, is the forego activation, which is a very specific, I think that's new. you actually declare that you're foregoing the activation rather than activating them and doing nothing. So there is a fundamental difference between foregoing an activation. I don't have to roll Bonehead as an example, or activating a player and doing nothing with them. But I'm activating them, therefore I'm rolling Bonehead.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good clarification. I mean, it didn't really come up too much in many of the games that I played. You just go, okay, well, that's it. I'm not going to bother moving this guy or whatever. But it's good to have an actual ruling behind it, I suppose.
And it's only important because of the changes to stalling.
Yes, very true. So, new rule, secure the ball.
Yes.
Do you want to weigh in on this one, Jace?
Oh, my God, the internet exploded when this came out. But, I actually really like this. There is nothing more frustrating than sitting there with your 3+ agility, 3 turns in a row, and just kicking the ball around a little bit and nothing fucking happening. And I think that the clever about this, so this is a 2+ for everybody to do, but their action ends, so it only happens at the very, very end of a thing. And there are so many caveats on how and who and all of that stuff. So, it can't be any of the big guys. It can't be anyone with the unsteady trait. He says, not actually looking at the rules. I've nailed this already. And there's a whole bunch of, actually, most of your strength 4 blockers are also unsteady, so they don't get access to secure the ball. So this is things like Chaos Chosen blockers or Nurgle bloaters and Lizardmen, Saurus. A whole bunch of them. So it's a nice little one that you can put out to go, nah, you don't get an easy pickup with one of these guys. That's not their job. And then there's the, models can't be, or you can't have an enemy model within 2 squares or whatever it is as well. So I think it's particular. I think it's a neat little adjustment to the rule to remove a negative experience. I also think when we're talking about 7s, which is such a fast game, if you miss that for a couple of turns, the opposition is on top of you and probably scoring. So I actually think it's a nice little balancer. It also means that a few of those less agi teams have still got an option to grab the ball and hold it for the first time, and you actually have to play Blood Bowl to get it to your end zone. It's not just a lucky dice roll.
Totally agree. It's, that 3+ pickup, I don't know how many times I've failed that over and over and over again.
Only slightly less if it was a 3+ with a reroll.
Only slightly. Yeah. So the only thing is, like, it ends your activation. It doesn't end your turn. So you've still got time to move people around closer to him or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You can do that before doing that, uphill block or whatever you want to do. The only clarification we probably need is there's nothing which says whether the weather affects it or not.
No, and it's that awkward piece that, you could argue both ways.
Yes.
And people have been arguing both ways.
Yes, because the internet. But yeah, once they clarify that, that'll be good. But because it's not necessarily picking up the ball.
I actually argue that it is not picking up the ball because it is not an agility test. It specifies that.
Yep.
So it is just a straight 2+ roll. So that's my take until someone tells me different.
Fair enough. Moving on, this one doesn't affect 7s at all, but the casualty roll is now different. So badly hurt is now a 1 to 8 instead of a 1 to 6.
Yeah.
So
slightly more generous.
Yeah, slightly more generous. Argue the call. So if you're arguing the call and you roll a 1, in the previous edition, any rolls of brilliant coaching on the kickoff table, you'd get a -1 to. That is gone. So,
I mean, this was
small
all
change.
of those, which is good because it's one of those rules that everybody forgot. It actually wasn't helpful.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I actually remembered it at all until I noticed it was a change.
Yeah.
Big one, passing.
Huge one.
Oh my gosh.
Possibly the best change.
Yeah.
All of the best changes are almost in this section, though.
Yeah, no, true. No more wildly inaccurate.
And
no terrible throws for a throw teammate, which is
no
kind of the same thing.
throwing shit behind you.
Yes,
that shit was nonsense of the highest order, and we've just ditched it. We're back to a sensible way of moving. So you will either throw it really good, you will throw it not so good, or you will drop it next to you.
Yep. Nice and simple. Throwing was always one of those complicated things. Adding into the complications was interference in the previous edition.
This was my next point. Yes.
That is gone.
So there was none of this interference then converting to a catch, otherwise it deviated. No, it just, you grab it, you get it. If you interfere, you get the ball. That is all.
Yep. You either intercept the ball or you don't. There's no more batting it out of the way. I get why they put it in to try and make it a bit more realistic, like the NFL, I suppose, but yeah, it's gone.
Stop it. Yeah, it was silly, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, nobody liked it. Throw-ins is my next one. So there's rules for corner throw-ins.
Yes.
Which I don't know if we had in the previous edition, did we? I don't know if anyone really made it clear.
No, I think it's what we did, but I don't think it was as explicit. Yes.
But more importantly, there's no square zero. So now the square that the ball goes out is square one when you're rolling.
That is a nice catch and an important piece.
Yes. Next up, stalling.
This is an exciting piece. So, stalling. So this is this idea that you can score and you don't need to roll dice. It has been considered a legitimate tactical decision by some and a dog act by others for a very long time. But we have an official scenario for it now, which is lovely.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had one previously, but it was only on a result of the Pres de Nuffle table. So thank God that's gone. Basically, what you're going to do is if you can score without rolling a dice with a character and you choose not to, now you need to roll a d6. And if the result is equal to or greater than the turn number, the crowd take offense because they want to see touchdowns and your player is knocked over. So for 11s, for example, turn 7, turn 8, it's not going to do anything. So that's still in. But in 7s...
only 6 turns.
I know. So there's always a chance.
Which is correct as far as I'm concerned. Again, the game is supposed to be fast, and stalling effectively stops that.
Yes.
So score and then play defense. Just be better.
Yeah.
But, the fact that you can choose to stall on turn 6 and it's probably okay. Yeah, you can risk it.
Yeah. There's ways to play around it for sure. I can think of a couple, but
walk backwards.
Well, yeah, that's one. That's for sure. But yeah, just having something there is good to have.
Yeah.
We've all done it. We've all stalled in games, and it is a legitimate tactic. Sometimes it works. Sometimes somebody cage dives in and uphill blocks you into the wall. It is
legitimately never worth it. That's the moral of the story. I think that's the other play is the way that you can now forego an activation. Even foregoing activation doesn't get you away from this, is the other piece.
Yes.
it specifically calls out you still have to test to see if you're stalling.
Mm-hmm. Add that to the fact that at the end of the game, if you didn't stall, you get an extra 10,000 gold.
Money in the bank.
That's it. Position keywords. So everything's got lineman or blitzer.
This is an interesting thing for sevens, specifically when you start talking about team building and you need to have 4 non-linemen. Now I've got teams that have multiple players with the lineman keyword. Now, I think this is an easy fix. It's not even a problem, but it's one of those ones, I think, given that the official rules for sevens have not been introduced, so we are just retrofitting at this point in time until something comes along, but there's still only 1 or 2 0 to 16 options, which would become your non-positional ones for 7. So I think that's an easy fix, but that was my immediate piece going, shit, how does Underworlds work in 7? There's so many different lineman options.
Yep. Yeah, look, it's gonna be interesting when the sevens official rules come out, because I'm seeing the amount of changes in the actual rules. There's got to be some in sevens, but of course, until then, we're sort of playing it by whatever feels appropriate. End of the game. Star player points. Your MVP is now a choice of 6 players.
I mean, every league I've ever played in has had their own way of choosing MVPs, if I'm perfectly honest. And so it'll be interesting to see what people pick up and what they choose to use and what they don't.
Yep. Yeah, so that was an interesting one, I thought. That seems like a lot to me. But anyway, as far as spending SPP, there's no more random secondaries. You cannot random a secondary skill on anyone. That being said, choosing a secondary and also, stat increases, the cost of SPP for those has decreased.
Which arguably doesn't matter for sevens, because that's not how you would get skills if you follow the previous way out of the book. However, that way is not as much fun as actually giving your players some star player points and doing stuff. So what we have done previously is a hybrid bastardization of multiple things anyway, where we're playing the sevens rules for in-game, but the star player points accrual from 11s, and ignoring that getting, losing players to the big leagues and stuff, which is frankly better. So whilst that doesn't affect 7 specifically, it does if you're playing it correctly.
Yes, it does. The other thing which was interesting is, so your value increase that you get on a player, there's no lower value for randoms anymore. So previously, random primary would be plus 10,000K. But now it's back up to plus 20. So it's exactly the same as if you chose it. That being said, you do now get to, if you're doing random, you get to roll twice and choose one.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the balancing act, right? It's this whole piece around. It's not really random. You're going to get 2 choices and you can pick the best one. So you still got some pick.
Yeah.
And it gets you skills faster. So I think the pros actually start to outweigh the cons a little bit. And I think we'll start seeing a few randoms.
Yes, I think you're absolutely correct. End of game, also conceding a game.
Got rough.
Look, it's now a 2-0 loss. And previously, you wouldn't get any gold for conceding, but now your opponent gets all of the gold. Or bronze, whatever you're playing. Copper, I think 7s is.
Play your games.
Yeah.
Not hard.
Yeah, easy done. Right. Shall we get on to skills?
Let's get on to the skills. This is where shit gets fun.
All right. So, in no particular order, which is also alphabetical, break tackle. Break tackle has changed. So it was a +1 to a dodge roll if your strength was 4 or
Mm-hmm.
less, and +2 if it was
Mm-hmm.
over 4. It is
Mm-hmm.
now +1 if you're strength 3 or less, +2 if you're
Mm-hmm.
strength 4, and +3 if you're 5 or more. So that edge roll with your treeman or whatever, who has break tackle, is now very easy.
Really quickly, before we get into the rest of the skills,
Yeah.
the addition of devious skills, I
Yes.
love separating those out. And equally, the way that they've listed these in the book with an icon to say what kind of skill it is, whether it's active or passive, whether it is an elite skill. The only thing that tripped me up is the traits icon. Like,
Okay.
just make them more obviously different was my call out. But the fact that they've actually made all of those really, really clear across it, so they can just list them all, and you've got sort of an icon set, whether they're active or passive, whether they go away when you don't have tackle zones, that kind of fun, glorious.
Yeah. They've really gone all out into trying to make this as simple and as easy. Like, the book itself is so easy to flip through and find stuff. So,
I mean, the
happy
46
with that.
pages of history at the start, I've had to put a little marker in before that. The rulebook tabs, that's a thing. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Bullseye. It's a new skill for throwing teammate. If you get a superb throw teammate, there is no scatter at all.
Oh, that's so good.
The square you aim that goblin or halfling or whatever into, that's the square they're attempting to land. Or attempting to, kick some guy in the head as they go.
The other one, which I think is a change now, is armbar grant star player points.
Yes. Good pick up. Thank you.
If that is, you dodge away, no, you actually get star player points for that, which is a nice little extra incentive.
Absolutely. Cloudburster may not be. So if you have Cloudburster and you're passing, you may not be intercepted. So I think previous that was like an interference thing, but that's intercepted. DK. This is a good one. I like this one. So characters with DK get +1 onto their injury roll. This is a difference to the previous edition where you'd roll twice and then they get both, which in sevens meant nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. So
is it +1 to the injury or +1 to the casualty?
Oh, the casualty.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. More likely to get injured.
Yes.
Yes.
But still nothing?
Sorry?
But still nothing for sevens?
Well, it'll be +1 onto that injury roll, so that you're through the armor, and then you're.
Yep. This all makes sense.
Yes. So, eye gouge, another new one. When somebody with eye gouge pushes you back, you lose all assists until you're activated again. So, interesting one that we're going to have to pay attention to. Make sure that it's marked. And
if only there was a little token in the box to. Anyway.
Yeah.
Other fun ones that come up here, ball and chain. So specifically now specifies it's immune to tentacles and shadowing. But also if the player fails the rush, the block is still performed.
That I did not pick up on. That's interesting.
Yeah, they still get to do the punch, which is a little bit.
Which makes sense because you're moving into the square first.
Yeah, you still fall over, but you do the thing first. And I think big hands changed as well. In that now it's just no negative modifiers for picking up the ball. Like I think it was a +1 or something previously.
It would help if I had the old book here as well.
Yeah, that's not important, but
Look,
but the flat out no negatives also means it ignores weather. It ignores any of those things, which is a fun little. Again, I think that there's been a little bit of an attempt to try and just go. These ones aren't taken as much.
Yes.
And Bombardier no mighty blow. Effectively,
that was taken out after a while.
But
so,
but they're not going through 46. But also, did I see it that the bomb doesn't go off until it actually hits the ground? So there's no rolling to see if you catch it whether it explodes before you throw it again.
See, there you go. Look, told you there'd be things I'd missed.
Yeah, it's dropped by a player. It explodes, but it's not if you catch it, you roll scenario, which is what it used to be.
Yep. No, absolutely correct. Awesome. Frenzy is the next one I've got, which now includes you can't use Frenzy with multiple block or hit and run, which makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I was looking at other one. Things like defensive now specifically works with put the boots in, so they've actually said you can play those two, because equally guard only works on blocks.
Yes.
Just flat out, which is the next one I had.
Excellent. And they did guard only working on blocks was ruled in one of the FAQs, but it's good that they've taken all that stuff and put it in.
Correct.
Hopefully, there's not too many things that need to be FAQ'd straight away. Give and go is basically running pass.
Oh yeah, same.
New name. Hail Mary pass. They've taken out the rule it can't be used in a blizzard, which is interesting.
Yeah, sure. Throw it as far as you want, whenever you want.
Yeah. Hatred.
This I like.
Yes. So basically, if you have hatred of any race, right, you can re-roll a skull if you've punched them. Also, if you're injured and it results in an actual injury for 11, so it's more 11 thing than anything else.
Even then, so yes, what it doesn't work for is a miss the rest of the game. So if we talk 7 specifically, you've got miss the rest of this game, miss next game, and dead. Doesn't matter, you're dead. Miss the rest of this game, no, but if you miss a game, this is where it fits in for 7 specifically.
Is it definitely on that? Let me just double check on this, because I was under the assumption it was only if they got like an actual injury.
If you miss a game is what I had, but let's double check that I made that up. Armor and injuries. Casualties, blah, 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 blah. Getting even. In league play, whenever a player suffers a casualty that results in either a seriously hurt, serious injury, or lasting injury, and they are forced to miss a game. So seriously hurt, serious injury, or lasting injury.
Gotcha. So serious injury is where they get the actual nega traits.
Seriously hurt, the player must miss their next game, which is a 9 or 10 in 11s. Or it's a 9 or 10, effectively. Which, again, badly hurt is the usual one. No long time effects.
Yep.
So a 10, an 11.
Basically, in 11s, if you're rolling above a 9 and not getting a dead.
Yeah. If you're missing a game and you're not dead, this is where, again, we are retrofitting. We are making a whole lot of assumptions, but it is the most logical one I can come up with.
Yes. Hypnotic Gaze is now a straight 3+ roll. It's not an edge roll, and it's an active ability.
Which I think made sense.
Yes. But the fact that it's not an edge roll now means that it's a little bit harder for those vampires to pull off. Next one. Now, this is interesting. Insignificant. You cannot include more players with this trait than without.
Yep.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yes.
Apart from snotlings.
Correct. Which still makes sense when you look at all of the fact that all of the snotling positionals don't have insignificant. It's only the linemen.
It's only the lineman, but it also means that you need to take a chunk of positions with snotlings now.
So
not that you probably wouldn't anyway.
No, but it now stops you going, I'm just going to make a cheap as hell roster and line up a bunch of star players.
Yes.
It also means that swarming becomes a little bit harder to do.
It also means that in sevens, you have 8 players instead of 11.
Yes, and again, we would have to consider whether that makes sense. I would suggest that it doesn't make sense for sevens. My immediate fix would be that you need to take your 4 positions before having.
Yep.
And as long as you had your 4 positions, you'd let it go. But this is a very arbitrary kind of.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here, because I mean, Snotling's got a lot better in some regards, and it makes sense having insignificant on Snotling, say on like an Underworlds team. That makes it.
Which also sense. Doesn't matter, because are they showing up in a sevens roster? Nah.
No, not in sevens.
But again, it stops the swarming thing. It stops the just flooding the pitch with little shitty dudes.
Yes. Kick is the next change I had. So kick is now a D3 instead of rounding it down. Yeah, halving and rounding it down, which makes sense.
Gets rid of your zeros and things.
Yes.
Which is, yes. No, I had the same thing. It makes sense. Let's, again.
Yeah. Lethal Flight is a new skill, and basically means that if you're thrown and you hit somebody, you get Mighty Blow.
Yes. And can I say, between Bullseye, Lethal Flight, and Moving Throw teammate and Kick teammate to separate actions, they have just lent into the ability to throw players so well, and it is very exciting.
Yeah, look, it's one of those things. It's interesting too, because throw teammate was always one of those most complicated things that you needed a flow chart to work out exactly what steps to take and what happened. And it's a little bit less now, but I think it might be a bit more fun too. Lone Fowler is a new skill, which basically means if you're by yourself and you foul somebody, you can re-roll a failed armor roll.
The other one I had in between there was Kick teammate doesn't add Mighty Blow.
So that would be a different. Excellent.
I'm pretty sure that had it previously.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. If you fumbled, it was Mighty Blow and all that sort of stuff.
This is just a straight injury roll.
Excellent. Mighty Blow, speaking of which, is now limited to +1. There's no Mighty Blow 2 and Mighty Blow 3. No. It's just Mighty Blow is a +1.
It also doesn't specify whether it works on a both down.
No, of course not. Being an active thing, we have to wait for that ruling.
Oh, no. It actually specifies that if they're knocked down, it still applies. Sorry, my bad.
Does it? If they're knocked down?
So, whenever this player knocks down an opposition player during a block action, even if this player is also knocked down...
well, there we go.
I lie. I made my notes did not make sense.
Excellent.
That is specific. I like specific. Whether it makes sense, I don't care.
Yeah, look, it kind of makes sense because they're both hitting each other, and that punch is still going to be hard.
It adds more carnage. I'm on board.
Yeah. Monstrous Mouth.
Huge.
Yeah. So they've removed the fact that it used to give you +1 to catch. What they've added is you can chomp a player. And it's on a 3+. The chomped player cannot move if they're still marked by the person with Monstrous Mouth. They're just holding them in place, which is kind of interesting.
I enjoy. Look, I I like the idea of a game style that revolves around limiting movement. It's like the stand
Yes.
firms and the fens of the world, tentacles shadowing to a lesser degree, but that kind of thing that involves fucking with your opponent, and it's another way to do that, which I really kind of enjoy. It still keeps the immunity to strip ball, which is nice, but just they cannot leave. I would love to see a world which big players can actually just drag around little players, hanging onto their ankles or some shit, but I dig it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just opens up the realm of possibilities for the Squeak team. No ball replaces no hands. That's fairly straightforward.
Nerves of Steel no longer works on intercepts.
Okay, yep. That's definitely different. Plague Ridden. So Plague Ridden is the one where you, if you kill somebody, it gives you a free lineman, basically. It's pretty much just the Nurgle team. But it no longer restricts people with decay or stunty or regen. So, basically you kill somebody, you're getting that lineman. Which is different.
It also works, and I don't know if this was the same, but I was like, oh, it doesn't specify that the player has to be the blocker.
Yep,
if you're getting hit and they happen to skull down and die,
that would make sense.
Which, again, absolutely makes sense.
Yep. Projectile vomit. If you use it on a blitz, it stops your activation as soon as you do vomit. So you're not going any further.
Oh, yes, there's none of the nonsense around. Yes.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who you're thrown up on, whether it's yourself or the other team, you're not going anywhere. You're just dry retching the rest of it up. Punt. Now, this is interesting. So it's basically you can punt the ball away. D6 scatter, so your normal throw-in scatter, and it'll go a D6. And if you've got kick, you can re-roll one of those dice, whether it's the scatter dice or the D6, but you've got to choose on the scatter. This opens up options.
I really like this. And we haven't got into the teams, but I like that they've given this to somebody. Yes. But the idea that you can actually kick the ball downfield and it doesn't cause a turnover, that is nice.
Yeah, very cool. Put the boot in is basically guard 4 fouls.
Glorious.
Yeah, nice and easy. Quick foul. So quick foul is a new skill, but it's basically half of Sneaky Git.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Git used to be. So you can continue moving. After a foul is quick foul. Sneaky Git is now the other half of that. So Saboteur. So it's basically only on secret weapons, and when you're knocked down, you roll a d6, and on a 4+, your opponent is also knocked down, and you're KO'd.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I like the surprise because there's a lot of... So if I have a chainsaw and a knockdown, it's a bad time for me.
Yes.
So this 4+ ability to be like, actually, I'm just KO'd and
you're coming with me.
You're coming out. Like, it's a nice little surprise. Sure. I mean, if you're looking for skills to give secret weapons.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm interested to see how it works. I didn't bother going through any of the star players and seeing their differences, so I don't know if any of them automatically get it or not. But yeah, it's a strange one, that one. I'd love to see it in action to see how good it actually can be.
What I haven't thought about is the then connection to the end of turn sequence and secret weapons getting sent off because they're no longer on the pitch, but they're KO'd.
I don't think that's changed.
Yeah.
Though. I don't think that's changed. So I think if you've got a secret weapon and you're on the pitch at the start of the drive, you're getting sent off, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Safe pass. So a natural one on a pass is not fumbled anymore. So that's my notes. Can't remember exactly what the other one was. Whether it was something to do with the deviate is my guess.
Oh, something. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong rule book to know what the differences were.
So awkward.
Shadowing?
Shadowing's next, yes. So shadowing is just a straight 4+ roll, which is great.
It involves so much less math.
Oh, yes. The only math you've got to remember now is that it's limited by your movement, which is not going to come up very much anyway. How
many times are you rolling in a turn? Given that it's a 50-50 in every instance, I think you're safe.
Yeah. Look, it's only going to come up if you're like a dwarf with shadowing following a gutter runner or something. But anyway. Steady footing. So we talked about this before. That's basically on a 6, you do not fall over, which is the new rule for the Grail Knights. Interesting one. It's going to be like foul appearance, where it comes up every now and then when you least want it to go up. It's
just that every time you're knocked, like every time you would be knocked down, which is the piece that would be not necessarily like logical or easy to intuitive to remember. You fail to dodge.
Fall over.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Both down. No, I don't. Whatever. Sure hands, just now saying that you can't use it on secure the ball, which is fine. Swoop, you may now re-roll your landing. So if you're using the D6 direction, which if you've got swoop, why are you not using that?
Well, because if you choose not to scatter, you may re-roll. So you can, because you know how they can control the scatter piece.
Yep.
So it's one or the other, right? You can either, you need the distance.
Yep.
Or you need the landing, but it gives you an option for both.
Yeah. Cool. Taunt is basically fend in reverse. So someone with taunt, you push them back, they can taunt you.
I really dig this because there's one of those ones where if you're one of those sticky ass players, I've got tentacles, I've got monstrous mouth.
Yep.
I'm going to force you, even if you block me. So you declare a blitz, you block me to get away, and then I taunt you in. Sucks to be you.
Yep.
I think it's just a fun little way to fuck with people.
I think so too. Next one I had was Trickster. So if you use Trickster to teleport yourself basically on top of the ball, you now can attempt to pick up that ball before you get hit, which was different to what it was.
Yeah, again, it was one of those really icky kind of unclear options and people did a lot of guessing, but it's very specific and I dig it.
Yep. Unsteady, we've talked about. Basically, you can't secure the ball. And then the last one I had was Violent Innovator, which is a casualty caused by a special action of this player gives a star player points.
I think a couple of only little pieces I had as well. Take root. You only roll if the player is standing.
Okay, that's good.
You don't have to. You don't root the ground.
Yep.
And where is it? Tentacles. And I don't know if this was different, but the whole activation comes to an end. So if it sucks you in, you're done.
Yeah.
Which I think is practically how it always worked.
Yeah, it's just, it's not like you could chase you, go, okay, I'm going to dodge away here. Oh, tentacles keeps me, then I'm going to punch you. Like, that was not something you could do. So it makes sense. It's just,
And I never used it that much, but didn't think you could try and continually dodge away from somebody with tentacles. I think it was just you stop moving. Yes.
Cool. That was the skills differences. There's a couple of inducement differences, but I don't know if we want to go through them.
The only other one for me was very long legs, which is just a +1 to leap and jump. So you don't reduce the negative modifiers anymore. It is just a straight +1. Yeah. And that's only important because Slan, which technically don't exist. No, inducements-wise, actually, like the prayers to Nuffle was the only thing I really looked at. And honestly, they all convert. Yeah.
Yeah, it's now 10K instead of, what was it, 50 or something before. There was a couple of other little changes. The only one which caught me off guard was right as rookies. So the extra snotlings. So it's not a 7 thing anyway. It's not one of the inducements that 7s could take. That's gone up from 100K to 150K. So that's a hell of a jump.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Shall we get into teams?
Let's just do the teams. And as I said, I've got a few that I've like, ooh, as I snuck through, but I didn't go real deep into all of them.
I tried to go as deep as possible.
I mean,
elbow deep.
It takes some warm-up, some lubricant, and a bit of practice.
Shoulder deep now. So there are a couple of changes. Well, not changes. A couple of extra team types that you could be. Brawling Brutes. Basically,
the big one.
Your star player points were swapped between touchdowns and casualties. So now if you are a Brawling Brute, you get 3 star player points for causing a casualty and 2 for scoring a touchdown.
And I will say, like, we don't play a lot of long leagues. So A, we're not playing super long ones, and B, we're not doing ones where often people are redrafting teams.
Yep.
So I think for our purposes, this is wonderful because it lets teams level up at approximately a similar pace.
Yep.
Early on. I think the concern I would have is that often some of those teams that are very cash-based, bash-based teams, and I'm looking at Chaos Chosen as an example here, are a bit shit at the start. Yep. And then eventually, the end of a league, you start to look shiny. You redraft that into another league, and holy hell, they can get terrifying. And this feels like it snowballs more than previously. As I said, I don't think we're ever going to see this. It's not really a problem, but I'm curious to see how that plays out in other leagues I'm not playing in.
Yes. I mean, in all fairness, Chaos Chosen aren't a Brawling Brute, so they're not going to get that change. So they still have to get touchdowns.
Good.
The teams that do have Brawling Brutes are Black Orcs, Dwarves, Khorne, Nurgle, Ogre, and Orc.
See, Khorne is the one there.
Yeah.
And Orcs. I mean, arguably they do everything well. We'll get back to that. But, I mean, sure, give Black Orcs all the help they can get.
Yep.
Like, knock yourself out. Khorne, though, those bastards can score. Interesting.
They can.
Interesting choices all round. But
yeah. The other one is Team Captain. So you basically dedicate one of your players as the captain and he gets pro.
Yes.
Basically for free. Also, if the captain's on the pitch, the captain must start on the pitch, must be fielded unless he's like injured. But if he's on the pitch, if you're using a team reroll, roll a d6. On a 6, it's not wasted. You get the reroll, but you don't use it.
I am very nervous about this for our purposes.
Yeah.
Again, 7s, the rerolls are rare. The rerolls cost double, and any tournaments would normally not include things like leader and pro. And I think the tricky bit is the easy fix is just be like, nah, you don't get a team captain. But it only applies to some teams, and that has clearly been costed into some of the balancing around some of this stuff.
Yes.
So I think there is a world here where team captains do something slightly different, but straight up playing sevens, it's a terrifying prospect, and any teams that get team captains suddenly look really shiny.
Yes. There's only two, and it's human and orc.
And both of them get cheap rerolls.
Yeah.
Like, they're not cheap rerolls because they're still sevens rerolls, but they have cheap enough players that you can afford a full roster and a reroll and a team captain, which means they will scale terrifyingly.
Yeah. So orcs getting both brawling brutes and team captain because they're orcs and they're awesome. The big change for the teams, obviously, is the number of positionals, and it's basically sprue based.
Which I actually think, sure, it does match. If they didn't say that, no one would be upset.
Yeah, I don't think it would have taken long for people to work it out, though, considering they did the same thing with Underworlds way back when.
Yeah. But equally, like, if you told me that Skaven can only have 2 gutter runners, I am not crying anyone a river on that one. It's a little bit trickier for some other teams, I think, but again, firstly, I'm not playing 11s, so I don't care as much. So it is actually less of an impact for 7s. And equally, I think that there were some good changes to the rosters overall that made some of it, like, it actually makes sense. But going the flat out, this is what's in the box, this is what's in a roster, how do we make it work, is just backwards.
Yes. You make the teams and then make the sprues, not the other way around. But yeah, that being said, yeah, I think this changes things up quite considerably. More in 11s and 7s for sure, but it's, with the changes to all the players, and like there are lots of changes.
Yes,
it's going to be a whole different ball game.
And again, selfishly, I don't think it's a bad change because often spamming one position was better.
Yep.
But dull.
Yeah, look, my Orc 7 team with 4 linemen and 4 blitzers did rather well.
It's legitimately the correct choice. But even like Dark Elves, 4 blitzers. Yep. Off you go. Yep. Nah, not anymore. So it's more variety, it is more interesting, it is more thematic, and it leads less into this is just better.
Yeah. I think, people, this is the biggest thing that people were complaining about when the changes got announced. I'm all for giving this a go. If it doesn't work, then they'll just change it back in the next season.
Correct, but also, like, people were rightly annoyed about the logic, about that this is what's on the sprue. And I think what they didn't do is talk about the process that they went through to go, okay, what's on the sprue? Does it make sense? Is this going to work? How did they stress test that as a theory to get to where they're going? And what changes did they make to rosters when they kind of went, oh, but actually this one doesn't work. How are we going to change it based on what's on the sprue? And does it still work? I feel like that was a whole bunch of homework that somebody did, not me.
Yes. It would have been a hell of a thing to try and balance these teams like this.
But they just threw it away as, you get what's in the box, regards, we changed the rosters. And rightly, people went, but that's a shit idea. But again, the homework behind it was really not considered.
And there's still some teams where the boxes are not everything anyway. So.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Running through these, I'll do this as quick as possible, but there's a lot. Amazons. So, Blitzers went to a 4+ passing.
No.
From a 5+. Warriors went from a 4+ passing to a 5+, so it just got swapped around.
There is no 5+ passing on the Amazon roster, but sure.
Sure. Cool. All right. I know what I did.
They're all 4+.
They're all 4+.
Except for the thrower, which is clearly not.
Yes, no, that's fine. Black Orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Trolls lose Loner.
That is huge.
Yeah. That is a big one.
I mean, it's still Black Orcs.
They're still Black Orcs. Goblins get devious skills, and Black Orcs get devious skills on a secondary.
Sure.
Bretonnian, everything.
Everything is new. Yeah, we know.
Chaos Chosen. So Beastman went down 5k in cost and got Thick Skull.
Yep.
And also got passing moved to 3+, and devious on a secondary, and strength moved to a secondary from a primary.
Probably fair.
Yes. The Chaos Blockers get armbar and devious on a secondary.
Mm-hmm.
The Minotaur, and this is a general rule for all big guys that didn't have anything but better, any big guy that didn't have a passing stat is now a 6+. The Troll now gets passing on a secondary, and the rerolls for Chaos Chosen went down 10k. Yep. I mean, majority of these make sense.
They're all good. Chaos Rolls are basically new.
Yeah, Chaos Babes, they were basically new, but they still got changed. So Hobgoblins got devious, and General went to a secondary skill.
Mm-hmm.
The Stabber went down 10k in price, which is what everyone wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And got devious.
Yeah. On it.
Can't remember.
On a primary.
Primary. Basically, if I didn't list it as secondary, I think it's primary. But Minotaur got mutations on a primary.
That's fun.
Yep. Centaurs gain unsteady, so they can't secure the ball.
Correct.
And both them and the Chaos Dwarves get devious on a secondary.
And I mean, there's going to be changes throughout on that one, just because devious didn't exist.
Yes.
So,
all right, Chaos Renegades. The linemen get animosity.
That's fucking rough.
Yes. There's a few things here. So the throwers lose safe pair of hands and get sure hands.
Sure.
The Orc passing went from a 5 to a 4. The Dark Elf loses passing on secondary. So you can't take leader on the Dark Elf anymore.
Good.
All non-big guys get devious access.
Good.
This was got to be an issue, but the Ogre is missing Mighty Blow.
Oh, that's a typo.
Yeah, it's the case in a couple of them, so that's got to be a typo. Dark Elf. The linemen go down 5k. They go to 3+ in passing. The assassin goes up 5k.
What the actual fuck?
But gets hit and run.
I mean, sure, but also, what the fuck?
Yeah, and a 4+ passing. The runner gets punt.
That's the best.
Yes.
This is the bit I'm excited, because he also has dump off. So this is a fun, this roster suddenly looks really juicy.
Yep. The Blitzer goes up 5k.
And 0 to 2.
And goes to a 3+ in passing. The Witch Elf goes to a 3+ in passing. And all of them except the Assassin get devious skills on a secondary. Apart from the Assassin, it gets them on a primary.
And apart from the Witch Elf passing on a 4, that's all true.
Cool. All right. Maybe I'm writing all these things down. In my defense, I wrote all these notes out at Seaview one night in a pen that was running out of ink, and then I typed them all up.
It is a wonderful dream. But look, I think realistically, this roster is a fun one. Now, this is juicy. Dwarves.
Speaking of fun,
Are they yet? Let's make a call after this.
All right, so all of them lose agility access.
Good.
Linemen lose tackle but get defensive.
I like that.
I don't mind that, but tackle's a
Tackle is too good.
yeah. And strength moves to a secondary.
That is
The
rough.
runner is minus 5k and gets sure hands.
Mm-hmm.
The blitzer is plus 20k, but gets diving tackle and tackle. And their agility goes from a 3+ to a 4+.
Yes, which should have always been.
Yes.
Diving tackle as a combination is lovely.
Yes.
I would love to see that with armbar.
Yes, surely that's a good skill now to take on them.
Brawling brutes for these guys means that, sure, you care less about trying to move the ball, which may also mean that you care less about playing for draws. You still want to, but you don't have to be as conservative.
Mm-hmm.
But there is zero agility access at all.
Yeah, that's rough.
Even for the runner.
Yeah. The Troll Slayer gets hatred of trolls, which totally makes sense.
I love that.
And gets 5+ in passing and devious on the secondary. The Death Roller goes up to 5 movement.
He can roll death a little bit further.
A little bit further. And the rerolls go up by 10k.
Good.
Yeah.
Reliable enough.
So, Elven Union.
Let's talk about fun teams that just got funner.
So, linemen go up 5k.
Sure.
They get their passing to 3+ and get Fumble Rooski.
This is the best.
Next league. Throwers get Hail Mary pass and the catchers get diving catch.
Oh my God. Catch, diving catch, nerves of steel, and Hail Mary pass. That is fucking brilliant. Mm-hmm. With Fumble Rooski on the lineman, which I think there is there is a game here where you just move the ball bullshit ways around until you clear up a spot for a thrower to throw end zone to end zone and diving catch. Yep. And it's the best. This is such a fun. Yes.
Yeah. Gnomes get devious on a secondary.
Yep.
That's the only change.
Great. Move on.
Goblins. All of them get devious on a primary, apart from the Doom Diver and the Pogoer, who get it on a secondary. The Looney gets no ball.
Yep.
So Chainsaw can't hold the ball anymore. And their agility access goes to a secondary. The Boomers, agility to a secondary, pass to a primary.
Mm-hmm.
The Organ, minus 5k, 5+ passing, and they lose pass access.
But they pick up taunt.
Yes. The Doom Diver goes up 5k, but gets dodge now.
And swoop. So you've
already
got
swoop.
Yeah, but it got the swoop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pogoer is 4+ passing and lose pass access. And the Troll loses loner as well.
I think all of these are thematic, wonderful things.
Yes.
I don't know whether it makes them better or worse, apart from loner on a troll, which generally is good. But yeah, it's an interesting. I'm curious to see how it plays. I'm curious to see how, I think we need to see the devious skills play out to see how good they get.
Halflings. So the catcher moves to 4+ passing.
Mm-hmm.
And all halflings get devious on the secondary.
Basically no change.
Not much. Human. So the catcher goes up 10k, but goes up to strength 3 and up to 4+ passing.
I mean, yeah, but strength 3.
Yes, strength 3 catcher. The thrower is negative 5k, but his passing goes from a 2+ to a 3+. So he's lost his skill in passing. So they're slightly worse there. Blitzer gets tackle but loses pass access.
Mm.
All of them have devious on the secondary. The ogre on a human team apparently has access to mutations. Wait for that one to be FAQ.
Yeah, look.
But the loner goes to a 3+.
This is interesting, but also you mix the change to the passing stat with team captain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thrower is a good option for the team captain.
For sure. Imperial nobility.
Holy mother of God, these guys got good.
So the linemen go to a 3+ edge.
Mm-hmm.
The thrower goes to a 2+ pass with pro. The bodyguard is -5k, -1 movement down to a 5. I've got written. Is that right?
I don't know what they were. They are a 5 now.
Yeah, I think they were a 6, but get 4+ passing.
Mm-hmm.
The blitzers are -15k. But
how
get pro.
The actual fuck?
Yeah. -15k and get pro.
Glorious.
Sure. The rerolls go down 10k, and the ogre has access to mutations, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But agility 3+ on the linemen, because it was a 4+ on the retainers.
Yep.
That is huge for this guy. And then just the stupid amounts of pro. Yeah.
So you're speaking about having, your team captain as the thrower on the human team. It's a better thrower on the Imperial nobility team.
Yeah. Look, nobility, one of those ones were a little bit neglected and unloved. Mm-hmm. Comparatively, I think this brings them way back into the mix.
Yeah, for sure. Corn.
Mm-hmm.
So the corn gores get jump up and thick skull.
Jump up is the best.
The bloodseeker goes down 5k in cost, and all but the bloodspawn get devious on the secondary.
And they're brawling brutes.
Mm-hmm.
This is all good.
Yep. Lizardmen. Skinks get devious on a secondary. Chameleon skinks get passing on a primary. The Saurus goes up 5k, but gets Juggernaut and Unsteady.
Yep.
And the Crocs gets passing.
5k for Jugs on a Saurus I'd take every day of the week.
Yeah, not bad at all. Necro. So Necromantic. Devious secondary on all except primary on a zombie. The zombies get Eye Gouge and a 6+ passing, as well as Unsteady. The ghouls go to a 3+ pass and get regen.
Getting regen on the ghouls is...
Yes.
Firstly, just not having to work out who I need to roll regen for, because some do and some don't.
Yes.
Like, just from but that's great. Eye Gouge is... I mean, it's a zombie, who cares? But it's something. I'm very curious to see how much impact it has.
Yeah, that's going to be one to watch. The Wraith goes down 10k in cost. The Golem goes down 5k and gets 6+ pass and Unsteady. The Werewolf goes down 5k and gets a 3+ pass.
This is fucking wild.
Yep.
Why are there too many teams I want to play now? This is a problem.
Norse. The linemen get Unsteady, which makes sense because they're drunk.
Yep.
The Elf gets 6+ pass and Unsteady, and the Yeti gets a 6+ pass. That's the only differences.
Yeah, easy.
Nurgle. Rodders go up 5k, get devious on a primary. All others get devious on the secondary. The Pestigore goes down 5k and gets steady footing and thick skull. So steady footing
is the don't fall over on a 6.
Yes. And I do like, as an aside, I do like how these skills that were introduced in the last season, as this is the Amazon special skill. This is
Yeah.
the
They start getting sprinkled.
yes, and getting being able to take them on other players is fantastic. The bloaters go down 5k and get stand firm as well as unsteady. The rot spawn.
Holy shit.
Loses agility access.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Gets that 6+ passing and gets pick me up.
I love this. This is such a fun.
This is so cool.
Again, people talk about Nurgle being, oh my god, what a jump. And actually, I don't know. But steady footing on the Pesty is a nice little piece. Stand firm on the bloaters is glorious, and you combine that to the potential of a pick-me-up. So even if you get put down, you might, chumbawamba that shit.
Yep.
I feel like it just gives them enough of a little nudge. There's still a lot of fucking rules to remember. But
yes, but they're a fun team. They're a harder team. They were a harder team. This is going to make them a bit better. Also, their rerolls went down to 10k.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
The ogres, the Noblars get 4+ passing and devious on a primary, and the ogres get devious on the secondary.
Great.
The only difference.
But the big difference here is throw teammate is a separate skill, therefore, or a separate action. And they get brawl and brute, so they can just... And you can just kick Noblars at things.
Yep. Old world. I'll take a breath. All of them lose animosity to start off with.
That's huge.
The halflings go up 0 to 5.
I mean, sure.
From 0 to 3, I think it was.
For anybody who is looking for ammunition, sure.
Yeah. The rest of it, I'm pretty sure, is the same as...
Well, the dwarf lineman suddenly gets the same as the dwarf lineman so he's block defensive.
Yep.
Because he's now the same as a dwarf.
But he's also now 0 to 3 as well. So I think he was... I can't remember. I'm not an old world player. I think he was 0 to 2 from memory. But 0 to 3.
Just lining up the skills. So the same positions on different teams, like they still do the same stuff. That is just neat, and I will take it. The rest of it, meh. I mean, if you want to mix and match, knock yourself out.
Yeah. Just going to go through and make sure there's nothing else. Old world ogres apparently still have access to mutations.
Maybe ogres get mutations. Like maybe that's a thing.
Maybe. And all others lose Loner apart from the ogre. Orcs. They all lose animosity. Hooray!
Holy shit.
This, oh my god, when they introduced this, I was like, oh my god, orcs are usually the easiest one to introduce somebody to the game. You go, here's a team that does a bit of everything well, and also won't, hinder you as much if you make mistakes. But the animosity just crippled that. So getting rid of that, awesome. The linemen get devious on a secondary. Goblins go to a 3+ pass with devious on a primary and passing on a secondary. The thrower goes up 10k, but becomes movement 6.
And loses animosity. Did we mention animosity's gone? Because animosity's gone.
And gets devious on the secondary. The blitzer goes up 5k and gets break tackle.
But 0 to 2.
0 to 2.
That's the kicker.
Yeah. Devious on a secondary, and they lose access to passing. Man. The big un passing skills, not passing skill. Not the passing, being able to pass, it's the passing skills.
Yeah.
Big uns go up 5k, get 6+ pass, mighty blow, taunt, thick skull, unsteady, and devious on a secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shambling undead. Skeletons get devious on a secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Eye gouge for the zombies, plus unsteady, plus 6+ pass. Ghouls get that 3+ pass and regen. Whites go up 5k, but get tackle and thick skull. They lose passing access on a secondary, but get devious. And the mummies go to a 6+ pass.
Mm-hmm. So again, everyone's regenning. Glorious.
Yeah.
The bonus tackle, sure, take me.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, exactly. Skaven. So everyone gets devious on a secondary, excluding the gutter runner, who gets it on a primary. Thrower goes down 5k. The gutter runner gets stab.
Yes.
The blitzer goes up to a movement 8, which is huge. 4+ pass and strip ball.
Look, and this is the big one because this is the box that everyone said you fucked it when we looked at the roster changes. 0 to 2 gutter runners, 0 to 2 blitzers. But you've made the gutter runners slightly more punchy by giving them stab. And you've made the blockers, the blitzers bullshit by making the movement skink. Skink movement with strip ball. Holy shit. This team is still, like, you can fuck with a team that's still tier 1. It is still stupidly good.
Yes. Snotlings. Devious as a primary for all Snotlings and the pump wagon. Linemen get a 4+ pass, plus insignificant. Fun Hopper goes to a 4+ pass. The Stilty goes to a 4+ pass. The Flinger gets Titchy, which it didn't have before. The Pump Wagon goes down 5k. Also goes up 1 in movement. Gets a 6+ pass. And loses Secret Weapon.
Holy shit!
That is amazing.
The Pump Wagon gets bullshit.
Yes, finally. After I've just suffered through a whole season with them and having to take bribes all the time. Shut up, you.
Smallest violin over here.
I know. They did get an extra 10k on top of their rerolls, though.
I give 0 shits. There is so much good there.
Yeah. Tomb Kings.
Speaking of suffering through a league,
Skeletons get devious on a secondary.
Sure.
The thrower goes down 5k, goes to a 9+ armor value, and gets strength and devious on a secondary. The blitzers go down 5k, go to a 5+ pass, get devious on a secondary but lose passing access. The Guardians go up 15k and get 6+ passing plus brawler.
And don't have unsteady.
Yes. Worth noting. And the rerolls go down 10k.
All right. This is another episode's worth of content, but I just spent a whole season playing this. This team, these rules. So the ability to secure the ball.
Yep.
Brawler on the Tomb Guardians from the outset. All of mine eventually got it, but fuck. And just the difference in prices. It's all
right. So Underworld, Goblins, and most of this will be
same as above.
Same as the Snotlings lose swarming, which was FAQ'd anyway, I think. But everything else is pretty much the same as it is in the other teams.
And did they already have animosity? I can't remember.
I believe so, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Vampires. So the runner goes to a 3+ pass, the blitzer to a 4+ pass, and the Vargeist gets a 6+ pass.
Everybody can pass.
Yeah. What else?
The big change there was Hypnotic Gaze.
Yeah. What else? Lucky last, linemen go down 5k. They go to a 3+ in pass. The thrower goes down 10k and gets safe pair of hands. The catcher goes up to a 3+ pass and gets sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And the war dancer goes up 5k and gets a 3+ pass. And the treeman gets passing on a secondary.
The treeman's still never
Yes.
seen.
The war dancers are now like 10k more expensive than the tree.
Correct. I have no qualms with any of that.
They're a very expensive piece. They are awesome, but also squishy.
So effectively, across the board here, we've seen a passing stat get better for more players across the board. And I feel like that is a direct result of the last edition, where basically passing got too fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
It became a stretch play for anyone but a couple of key players, but there are some teams I am super pumped about.
I'm eager to see a lot more passing in games, because I've always liked passing, but I never really take a team that does it well.
No. So. And I'm also very aware that we introduced a lot of players during second season. And so that's the only Blood Bowl that a lot of these players have ever known.
Mm-hmm.
And to watch the little eyes widen as they go, I can do a what now?
Yes.
Like, with all of my elf linemen? It's a 3+. It's still not 2+ passes with everybody. It's fine. Like, it's not the 2+ edge roll that it used to be, but it's a little bit closer, and it's a little bit, and yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, look, my big takeaways from there: Union, Elven Union, Nobility, Nurgle, obviously, and Orcs, but Orcs got stupid as well. Yeah. But there are still, and Dark Elves with Punt, just to get starting. Access to Punt was fun. So look, that's kind of my immediate, oh my God, I want to play you and you and you and you.
Yes, all of the above. I think that those ones were the big winners, absolutely. But overall, I think most of the teams got enough changes. And if they didn't, they were newer teams anyway.
Yeah.
But most of the teams got enough changes to make them a bit different.
Yes.
And play slightly different, at least.
I am imagining a world with players particularly playing in 11s where they had a team and they liked that team, and now that team doesn't work anymore and they actually need to physically change things and match a paint scheme from 14 years ago. Look, that's going to piss those people off.
Oh, yes.
And I absolutely get it. I'm painting 7 dudes at a time, and I really enjoy some variety, and I found myself getting sucked into the vortex of being like, but 4 blitzers is just better. Why am I not just taking 4 blitzers? And now I can't. And that's good.
Yes. No, it's gonna make, especially in 7s, it's gonna make a lot of different teams now.
Yeah. I think the other piece, looking at 7 specifically, is tricky at the moment in that there is no official 7s release. There will be one, I'm assuming. I'm making assumptions that there will be.
Whether or not it takes another year or so to
that's
get
too
to
long.
us,
That's
yes.
Far too long.
I would like to see it next month, but I doubt that's happening.
And what that means in the meantime is, so we could continue playing the previous Season 2 leagues till the cows come home. Easy, but that's not the new shiny stuff. The new rules in-game are actually pretty easy to straight up adapt over, and I think it's only the specific changes between 11s and 7s that matter. So, like, what are the changes to the kickoff? But most of the time, that goes from, D3+3 to D3+1 or whatever the fuck the roll is, right? Like, you just scale it down. That's not hard. So I think that's relatively easy. The tricky bit is team management. So when you've got now teams that get star player points for different things, because Brawling Brutes is now a thing, the team creation and the skill trees changing, and then the skill, actually the price of skills for elite skills as well, that makes league management, if you don't go all in, really tricky. So I think the challenge for us will be, for the next however long, depending on what happens with tour play or anyone else, whether we continue to play old editions, whether we go like some kind of hybrid off-system anomaly, or I don't know what, but I think it translates very neatly to sevens, but it's just the logistics is the tricky bit.
Yeah, and I think, we might have to sort of give it a go and see how it plays before we make too much of a big leap. But, the new edition rules are in tour play. And as far as sevens goes, I'm pretty sure that, at least there will be a NAF version come out pretty quickly. So the official one might take a lot longer, but I think the NAF will get one out pretty quickly.
I think the only real adaptation needs to be what happens with team captains.
Yeah.
Nobility will still be bullshit good because they all have pro, but I think it's just what you would give a rookie coach instead of leader to make them worth having.
Yep. Totally agree. That's all I've got.
That is
an hour and a half later.
That was a lot from us. I will take it. There is a huge change. I'm fundamentally overall thoughts.
I'm eager. I'm really eager to get straight into these rules. I really, I'd love to, play Dungeon Bowl, play sevens or whatever, but I need to delve into these rules properly.
Yeah, and it is tricky playing multiple rule sets of the same game. That gets more confusing. Like, how do you learn the new ones where you're still sometimes playing the old ones? And that neat cut is often very nice. And that is fundamentally why I've given up beta testing fucking anything, because stuff changes too much and I just get confused. If someone puts a dungeon in front of me, I'm playing some Dungeon Bowl though, so I have a problem. There is, I think, I am super keen to try it. I'm super keen to try some of the new teams with the new changes and the new skills. I don't see many negative changes, if I'm honest.
No. I mean, Blood Bowl has been going through. It's gone through many iterations, and every iteration they change something, and there's always going to be something in there that is not necessarily, the way we want it to change.
No.
But I think, this edition especially is proof in that, if something gets changed and it's just shit, they will eventually change it back.
Eventually. And look, a lot of it, there are a lot of people sort of commented before this edition that said if they just package up the erratas and FAQs and everything and do a bit of a cleanup of the fucking rule set and just tidy it, copy in all the changes, add in the new teams, give us one book, that's enough. And they've done that and some extras. They've fixed the passing. They've just added a few nice little clarifiers and a few little flavor bits, and then they've fucked with the teams a bit, which, I'm down for. I'm very excited. I am trying to work out how the fuck we can play this faster, let's be honest.
Very, very soon. Tuesday nights are still happening at the Seaview. If you're in Geelong, by all means, jump in our Discord, organise a game. One of us will be up for something for sure. There's a heap of people, and they're all pretty friendly.
There is currently talk of a bit of a... Yeah, wow. Friendly. Absolutely friendly. Currently talk around getting some Dungeon Bowl in while we're working out how the hell to do stuff. So I think that is kicking off, if not soon. So that will be fun. And then we will see. I think there's lots of stuff to play though. Definitely get amongst the Discord. Definitely get down to Seaview. Play some games, people. It's good.
Absolutely. Anything else from you?
Nah, fuck. We've talked enough.
Yeah, I think so. People are bored. If you liked us, give us a follow. Facebook, Spotify, Podbean, Twitch, Instagram. As always, thank you very much to our Patreons, our lifetime Patreons, Alice and Clinton, and our thoughtless Patreons, Ant, Archie, Craig, Jared, and Kingsley. Thank you guys. You guys are the best.
The bestest and the bonkerest. Bonkerest.
Yeah. On that note, laters.
Gotcha.